All right. Okay, so for the demo today, we're going to look at the Xeomics Precision Medicine Suite, or XPMS for short, of which there's two main applications that this demo will involve. The first application is a front-end based portal for doctors and for patients. From a doctor's context, they'll be able to log in, administer and set up their patient lists for the clinic or clinics they belong to, or even within a hospital context. They'll be able to place orders for those patients and be able to view the status of those orders together with the actual reports when they're ready. For the patients that are set up, those patients via the same application will also be able to register themselves and be able to view those generated reports when they're made ready and the data comes back from the laboratory. Now, in order to enable that straight-through processing for the doctors to be able to place orders and be able to view the status of that, you need a very powerful admin engine powering that. That admin engine on the administrator side then has the function of enabling, sorry, let me think about that. The administrator engine enables Xeomics to staff to be able to administer new clinics, administer different doctors and other organizational contacts through hospitals to be set up and pre-registered in the application. Then those doctors are able to set up their own patients and their own lists of orders. We're able to be able to administer those orders. And for the demonstration today, because we're going to load data to simulate a laboratory that is return the data after the sample is taken from the patient, we're going to use the administrator console to be able to update that sample ID, then view the update of those orders, then return back to the portal and view that generated order that a doctor or patient would get as soon as it's generated by the application suite. Now, of course, that administrator application can do a lot more. It can do things like format new reports, add new conditions and drugs, but that's not in the scope of today's demonstration. Okay, where we're going to start is I'm going to log in as a doctor, and that doctor is Nur Aisha. So on the screen in a few moments, we should be looking at, sorry, let's see. We should be looking at the application login for the Xeomics web application. If I could just ask everyone who's looking at this demonstration, can you see on your screen a Nur Aisha login? So you see I've entered the email address and I've entered the person's password. I say I want to trust this device because I've already pre-registered that person and entered their OTP. I log in for this particular doctor. Now, of course, because we had two-factor authentication, I enter the OTP that's been received for that doctor. And that will take me to the main dashboard of this web application. That's that first application. Now you can see that Nur Aisha could belong to many clinics. If they did belong to many clinics, then those clinics would be accessible via this organization drop-down. Now in this case, this doctor's only linked to one clinic. If there were more and I selected another clinic, that would change the patient lists corresponding to that particular clinic. In order for today's demo, we can see that I have a number of patients that are already set up. So we're going to have a look. Even though I could set up a new patient here, in order to, for the interest of time, we have registered 2 patients. You can see Victoria Garza is the one I'm interested in. Now I could, here in this front-end portal, I could change details for that patient or administer here, including the emails that are sent as part of registration. But for today's purpose, we're not going to update that information. You're just going to note that Victoria Garza is the patient that I'm interested in. I don't know, it's zoomed for some reason. How do I?
I'm going to just double tap.
Ah, there we go. Okay. So for today's purpose, we're going to place an order for Victoria Garza. So I'm simply going to go to my ordering reports. Now for this clinic, you can see on the screen I've enabled roughly 11 reports. We're going to order some PGX prostate wellness for that patient. Very simple activity. So PGX, cardio, wellness, and prostate are my reports. We then simply go and select the patient that I'm interested in. Now, because my list is short, I'm going to select Victoria for that. I confirm that patient. You can see this is the information that will appear on that report. I'm asked by the system to just confirm that correct patient information and it doesn't need editing. I confirm that patient information, and of course I've taken a sample or taken a swab from the patient. Where am I sending that swab? What is that, if that's a swab or that's a blood or urine or otherwise? In this case, it's a buccal swab. I took the sample today. I want the report in English. And because I'm ordering PGX, we say, okay, there is some current medication, and that is nicotine and nicotine. I confirm that report details. And so the doctor's now presented, and you'll see a sample ID has been automatically generated by the system. Now, for today's demo, in order to demonstrate, obviously, I need to receive back that sample data from the lab. I'm going to have to change this ID in the admin console later. But just note, when we go back to this order and view it in the admin console, it'll be exactly the same information you're seeing on the screen here. So I just simply press the order button, and what it's done here, you can see for the doctor, we can see the order is pending at the moment. So the doctor can see the status as that data comes back from the lab. They can see real-time status updates. So this is where the demo now, we move to the admin console. So in this demonstration, the doctor has now taken a sample from the patient. They've placed an order. They've sent that sample, that buccal swab, if you like, to the lab. And we're now waiting for the lab to send back the data. On your screen, you'll see I'm now moving from the first application in the Xeomics Precision Medicine Suite, XPMS, which is the web app, the front-end web app. I'm now going to move to the admin console. And that admin console, me as an admin user, so I'm George, the admin user. I just need to get the correct admin user. There we go. And I generate an OTP, my two-factor authentication, and I can log in to this admin console. Now, the first thing you'll note here is that I have a very large menu down the side, of which we're going to be looking at really just one thing, that's the order management. But you can see there's a lot of other functions, order management and uploading of files. But you can see there's a lot of other functions that can be performed inside of this admin console. Now, for the purpose of today's demo, I have pre-prepared, if I look at, sorry, just let me save that. If I look at today's date of an upload, I've pre-prepared that WES genetic data VCF file, which I'm going to perform an upload into the system. And George, this is where you take out your WES file and you'd show this is the VCF file. You can see it's raw genetic data from the lab. And I'm going to upload that and in real time have the system not only validate it, but also upload and automatically generate if I had a linked order, generate those reports. So you can see the upload status is file uploading at the moment. If I was to search again, we can see in a few moments that'll move from file uploading into data loaded, and the order status will move to missing order, because of course we don't have an order, if you remember, to this sample ID. I need to go back to the order management and I need to update that sample ID in the order management. So here I am in my order management now. Let me just search for today's order that was placed on the web app. Go. So we can see this is the order for Victoria Garza that I placed a few moments on the web app with the buccal swab. I placed 4 report types: PGX, cardio, wellness, and prostate. Inside of this order, though, we can see here the system gave it an automatic sample ID. I'm going to change that sample ID to 241505-1. That was the sample ID that I loaded. There we go. And we can see the system's asking me for a comment because I'm updated, because of course it keeps full audit history of everything that's going on in the admin console. Updated sample ID to match new lab data sent. And I confirm, which you'll see will update. So for this particular patient, they had an old sample ID of 5607, which has now been updated to 241505. Now, if I go up to this order, you'll see it's pending data at the moment. So why don't we have another look at the order management? So I take for today's order, and we can see that it's recognizing, see, no longer it says pending data, the order status says data loaded. So what's actually going on right now is that this admin console behind the scenes is actually processing that report. And you'll see over on the doctor's side, if I was to search that patient again, we will see, so let me just search by just 1 second. View reports. If we go to, you can see Victoria here. We're just going to have a look at Victoria. Sorry. A moment. We're just going to have a look at. So in this case, we can see that the order status, because there's quite a few orders, George, with the demo, I need to think about how we make sure, or for those watching this internal demo, how we make sure, because you can see I've placed a number of orders for Victoria Garza, which is coming up. If I go back to the admin console, we can see that order is now complete, which is why we're seeing over here, we're seeing that order is complete on this side as well. And we can see the last update date in this case is 27th of August. So if I go to view that report, you'll see for Victoria Garza, if I confirm, that's what I want to see. We can see on the 27th of August, I now have 4 completed reports: PGX, prostate, wellness, and cardio, of which I'm able to view that report or download it. And you can see, if I scroll down, I can see for that sample, I have mostly moderate results coming through on my wellness, together with the full result information. And again, any of those reports can be downloaded. Now for Victoria Garza, I can also, if I was to log off this doctor and log on the patient, So in this case, we're going to log out of the doctor, and I'm now going to log into the patient, Victoria Gaza. Once again, with two-factor authentication, I enter my OTP. What we can see is the reports that you'll see these other ones on the 26th of August, but the ones we're interested in that we ordered today on the 27th of August, that's the PGX, the prostate, the wellness, and the cardio, which the patient equally can bring up that same wellness report and view it for themselves. Now, I'll just sum up again. So for the Xeomics Precision Medicine Suite, we took a look at the web application, which is used by doctors belonging to clinic or clinics or even hospital networks, together with patients that are able to, on the doctor's side, administer patient lists, take orders, view generated reports, and for those patients to be able to register, and as we're seeing here, view reports. And then powering that is a very powerful admin engine, which we saw we loaded data that had come back from the lab. The system had automatically processed and validated that data is correct. It had generated the reports and updated the status and made those reports available, in this case, to the doctor and the patient. Thanks very much.